Hello, everyone, and welcome back. So, what we are going to discuss today, uh, a relatively new concept, but now it is settling down really well and welcomed by the industry, and which is Delta Lake. And the name is quite familiar, especially people who are working in the data space. That the Delta is always referred to the change, and normally once we implement the data warehousing, we capture the Delta every day to build the history, so later on we can build the analytical of dashboards or reports based on the historical information. And the delta is one of the major, and I would say the critical part of building that historical assets in the data warehouse or data mart. Now, because we have now big data coming into the picture, and like every one of us know that it's not easy to, and especially with the data lake, there is no concept of updating the information in the lake. So lake is always read only. So that's a pretty straight concept. Whatever you dump on the lake, which is going to be the AWS, Azure, or GCP, whatever vendor you are using, once you dump the file in the lake, that is going to be read only. You cannot change the content until unless you download the file manually and then change it and then re-upload into the same lake environment, which is obviously not an actual concept of changing, or or capturing the change. And there was a blocker because obviously we sometimes we need to update the information. And what happens sometime, if we are keeping the tables on our lake environment, and I'm not talking about not the relational language. If we have a non-relational table, so for example you have parquet file, then if the business is updating that information and we want to capture that, or for somehow if we want to update some of the tables which we believe that are going to be changed over the time, with data lake it's not possible, because data lake won't allow you to touch any record which is sitting in any kind of a file format within the lake environment. So that's where the DataBricks then come with the concept of introducing the delta lake. Now the delta lake allow you to apply all the CRUD operation, which is obviously create, read, update, and delete. You can insert, you can update the records within those table, which has the delta capabilities. And that's where by providing that keyword, you can actually tell the DataBricks or your Spark cluster that this table has the capability that it can accept the queries, which can change its data that has been stored within it. So what we're going to do, we're going to actually see a quick demo in these two episodes, because I've split it into two parts. So in the first part, we will see the data set that we are going to use for the demo, just to show you a quick overview that what are the fields and what the attributes we are using. And in the next video, we're going to actually start applying the update or changes on our data which has been stored within the delta table. And you're gonna see how powerful the concept is, and literally resolving the constraints or limitation around the data lake. So let's jump into our dev environment. So let me quickly adjust the resolution, because normally my resolution is not up to the mark, and that always create a problem for the video. So let me see if I can just collapse it. Yeah, I think that's better. Increase the size a lot. Not sure whether, yeah, I think that's a better one. Anyway, what I'm going to do, I'm just increasing the size of the window, and now I'm going to share my screen. As usual, we are using the free cloud environment that DataBricks has provided. So nice of them that they have given us the opportunity to perform all kind of experiment within that environment. There's one free cluster available for you to run this sort of experiment. But obviously, if you want to go beyond that, you need to purchase the subscription from the DataBricks. All right. So let me just share my screen now, and I'm just going to use, yeah. So now you can see I have the notebook has already been prepared, and obviously, like I mentioned, I'm using PySpark as the main language, but you're gonna see I'm using the Spark SQL where I have to investigate the data of the data frame, which is obviously a beauty of using the DataBricks. Like you can use multiple languages yeah, using one environment. So let's come in. Let's quickly have a look. So one of another beauty that I have seen that in the DataBricks, you have some of the data sets which are available as part of your cluster. So you don't need to, upload, or you don't need to create these data sets. There are some really powerful data set that you can literally use out of the box as part of the free cluster. And we in this video, we're gonna use that. So you can see we have the airline data set which is available, and you can look at the location if you want to query, or you want to query the file system of the cluster. That's the folder. So you can see we have the DataBricks dash data set. So before I come back into the data frame, let's go and let's see what we have on our file system. So if you remember, I told you that you can use magic character process sign fs, which is the file system, which allow us to query the Hadoop's or the underlying file system or the cluster operating system that has been used. In this case, obviously, we only have one node, so we only going to have one location that we can query. So let me just quickly show you ls to display the contents, and I'm using the same path that I've shown you in the first cell. So if I run it, so you're gonna see we are running this command. And sometimes database cluster, because it's a shared cluster, remember, it's not like a dedicated cluster. So sometimes depends upon how many people are using the free cluster environment, you're going to see all the performance bottlenecks. So keep that in mind, that it doesn't mean that if you are getting the free cluster from DataBricks, it's going to be a dedicated, you're going to have a full 15 gig RAM, and the resources, the cluster is shared between users, so you're going to have chunk of the resources depend upon the load on the cluster. So now you can see we have the DataBricks, so you can see the path. So we have the main directory, and underneath we have different data sets directories. We have COVID, we have our data set, we have adult, we have airlines, Amazon, ASA. So every data set is addressing some particular scenario, and these are very powerful and ready to use data set that can help you to experiment with a lot of things before even you can try them in the dev environment, where we really need a sandbox environment where we can build, break things up. So please use the free version. All right, so now we are familiar with the data set. So in this demo, what I'm going to use, I'm using the airline data set, which is sitting obviously in the airline folder, and I'm just reading one file from this folder, because obviously the data set has been splitted between multiple files. So let me show it to you. So you can see I'm using the read option. If you need a quick refresher, I have recorded many videos before this video just to help you to understand how the whole DataBricks work. I'm going to put the playlist link in the description. Please feel free to refer to those videos, just a refresher, and it will help you to understand the main concept. So you can see we have the read option that we can use to read the file from the file system of the DataBricks. So we can use the data lake or all sort of connectors. We can use that in the read option for the reading. So let me just read it, and you're gonna see it's gonna take a little time. Just waiting it to finish. Yeah, we have successfully loaded the one part of the file, because remember the data has been splitted between multiple files. Now let me just show you how many records, how the data look like. So you can see I'm just displaying 5 records, but it is giving me a quick overview at a high level that what fields we have, what kind of data we have. So now what next I'm going to do, I'm just going to print the schema because I've used infer schema. So DataBricks automatically assign the data type. So just have a quick look that, okay, all the data types are correct because, and that's where you can see the DataBricks is very smart. It is allocating the right data type to each field. But if you want to change it, you can change it by yourself. So hopefully you can understand the schema and the data set which we are going to use in this demo, and hopefully you have a good idea of what the data lake. In the next video, we're going to actually go end-to-end demo, and we're going to see how the data lake, Delta Lake work using DataBricks environment. So thanks for watching. I'm going to see you in the next video.